afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good 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 afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Who is that fireman? Why are you showing that fire? Huh?
Sir, start the class. Yes, start the class.
Only 30 are there here, students. So last class up to which point we have discussed, man?
Sir, we have discussed about terrestrial habitats, aquatic habitats.
Okay. Terrestrial and aquatic habitat we discussed. Good.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And adaptation of fish and camel.
Adaptations of camel and fish. Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. What is adaptation? What is adaptation?
Sir,
What is-
presence of specific features or
What?
presence of
Presence. Presence. It is presence.
and plants or animals to live in its surroundings is called adaptation.
Okay. The presence of specific features or habits to live in a specific habitat are known as adaptation,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Surroundings.
Right.
Habitat means trees, mountains, rivers, lakes. It means the place that includes the surrounding area where we live.
Okay. What is habitat?
The surroundings where organisms, plants, and animals live in. Surroundings.
Okay.
The surroundings where organisms live in.
So it is a natural environment in which an organism thrives and grows and is adapted for the particular place.
Okay.
So the place where organisms live, sir. That called habitat, sir.
So we have learned what is adaptation. Now we will learn what is acclimatization. Acclimatization. The difference between adaptation
Yes, sir.
and acclimatization is very narrow. Narrow means very small. But here our understanding is very essential to learn about the word acclimatization. See, presence of specific features or habits in the body of the plant or animal to enable them to live in a given surroundings is known as adaptation, right? So for every surrounding, for every given surrounding, some specific features and habits must be possessed by the organism, right? If an organism has moved from one place to some other different geographical region. So in the nature there are so many different geographical regions. from one land geographical region to another land geographical region, one particular organism has moved. Do you think that all different geographical regions have the same conditions?
No, sir.
No, they will have different conditions,
Because they are
right?
tropical.
And yesterday, if I am not wrong, I told there are two types of components present in any given habitat that we have discussed. What are they?
Biotic and abiotic, sir.
Very good. Biotic and abiotic components.
Biotic.
Yeah, biotic components means plants and animals. Forget about them.
Yes, sir.
For some time, just forget about them.
Which not
Whereas
living,
abiotic components means your temperature,
non-living.
water, okay, what's the soil, all these different types of things are known as abiotic components, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these abiotic components, they will be different from one geographical region to other geographical region. So a plant or animal, it should possess some specific features which should make the animal to bear with the abiotic components. Are you getting it? So if you are living in a cold area, your body must able to tolerate that cold condition, right? If you are living in a water scarce area, you must be able to live with less water itself. Not only you, some other organisms, right? If a plant, for example, a desert plant, take a cactus, right? Cactus, how could it survive in a desert? Because it is able to live in the less water conditions itself, right? But let me complete first.
Sir,
Let
sir,
me.
the Hindi teacher is saying that it is Hindi class right now, sir.
Huh?
Hindi teacher is saying, sir, it is Hindi class right now, sir.
Hindi class, sir.
Yes, sir. Hindi teacher has given link also in group, sir.
No, sir, your class is still.
See, as per the given timetable only, I am teaching class. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you are having science class in the last period. That is fifth period. Today is Tuesday, so
Yes.
the
Sir,
fifth
but
period is science
parallelly,
class.
Sir, but parallelly Hindi class is also running, sir. Many students are there in Hindi class only, sir.
Yes, sir, only joined the 33 members in science.
Yes, sir. Rest are in Hindi class, sir.
See,
Which class?
I am teaching as per the given timetable. Okay. If the Hindi teacher is taking class, means he might not be knowing the right timetable. Who is your Hindi teacher?
Sir, Mayur class.
Mayur Kalal sir.
Sir.
Okay. Anyhow, those who misses my class, for them they can see the YouTube class. But I will talk to that teacher. Okay. Afterwards. Right now you just listen. Those who are present in my class. If you want to leave, that is left to you. I don't mind. Right. I don't force on anyone.
We want to listen.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So when an animal moves from one place to other place, where different climatic conditions are there, or we ourselves have moved from one place to other place, from a plain area to a mountain area, right? Then in our body some changes takes place and we bring out some new habits, right? So that
Yes, sir.
we will try to adjust with the new environment, and slowly we get accustomized, means we get slowly habituated to the new environment. This process is known as acclimatization. So in acclimatization, what is happening? In our body and in our habits, changes takes place that make us, that enable us to live comfortably in the new climatic conditions of a new area. The process of bringing of some changes in our body as well as in our habits which will enable us to live comfortably in the new geographical location is known as acclimatization, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
Sir,
for
can I
example,
say an example?
yeah, I will tell you. If you go to mountain area,
Instead we drink.
listen, please
Yes, sir.
listen, okay? If you go to a mountain area from a normal plain area, in mountain area, the air pressure, will it be lower or higher?
Sir, lower, sir.
Lower.
Yes,
Right, right.
sir.
That's why the
Yes,
oxygen
yes,
members
yes.
are carrying the oxygen system.
It is lower, sir.
With the increase in the altitude, there will be decrease in the air pressure. Okay, this is the statement, try to remember, right?
Yes.
Sir, one example is need to breathe faster when we are shifted to mountains region from plains. Sir.
Sir, why this is not coming, sir?
What? Board is not coming?
No, sir, it's not only.
Our waiting lobbies.
It is getting blurred. Now?
Yes, sir. Clear only.
Now,
Sir.
sir.
Now it is clear.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, what is that proposal, sir? Sir.
Sir, please admit me. I'm joining from laptop.
Sir, what is that pronunciation, sir? Acclimatization, sir.
Acclimatization.
What, sir?
Acclimatization.
Acclimatization. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Acclimatization. Sir, please join me. I'm joining from laptop. Sir, one seventh cadet has joined our sixth class, sir.
Saying, acclimatization is the process of getting adjusted to the new geographical location and the new climatic conditions by having certain changes in the body and habits of the organisms. So I have given a statement to you. With the increase in the altitude, there will be a decrease in the air pressure, right? So I don't know how many of you have traveled in the aeroplane, right? When you travel in the aeroplane, they will, the air hostess or the stakeholders of that airport authorities, they will advise you not to carry any fountain pen with you. Why? You know, fountain pen means ink pen. Why you should not carry an ink pen with you when you are flying or when you are traveling in aeroplane? The bottom sentence, it explains. With the increase in the altitude, there will be a decrease in air pressure, right? If our ink has to be present inside the pen itself, there must be sufficient pressure which will make that ink to be present inside the pen. As the air pressure decreases, the ink may flow out. Got my point?
Yes,
Student?
sir. Yes, sir.
That is the reason they advise you not to carry a fountain pen. So, same thing. Listen.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Please, let me complete. Okay?
Okay,
When you go to mountain area, you need to breathe faster. You need to breathe faster than your regular breathing. Why? You need to take sufficient oxygen. Na? When
Yes,
you are
sir.
on the plane,
Because, sir,
the air
there is
pressure
no-
will be good so that the
no
sufficient
much
amount of
oxygen,
oxygen
sir.
will be sufficient amount of oxygen
That's
will be inhaled by you
we have to
by
breathe
normal.
faster, sir.
Who is this man? Why are you disturbing? When you are on the normal plane area, sufficient amount of oxygen will be available in the normal atmospheric air pressure, right? So that normal breath rate is enough to have sufficient amount of oxygen. But when you shift yourself to mountainous area, there the air pressure is low. So in order to get sufficient amount of oxygen, your breath rate should be more, or your lung capacity should be more. Got my point? Okay, that's why many of the athletic runners, they practice their running in the mountain areas. Why? When they practice their running in the mountain areas, their lung capacity will be automatically increased, because in order to get acclimatized, their lungs will be increasing their capacity to breathe in the sufficient amount of oxygen. So when the capacity of lungs is increased, on normal plane area, they will get more oxygen easily, in that or not, so that they can run faster without getting any tiredness. Got my point?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Whatever the point that I explained, have you understood that point first?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you understood? How,
Sir,
why
if we
runners
are
practice
straight-
in the mountain areas?
Why means they will take heavy push and it is good to lungs, sir. That's why
Not
they
it is
will
good to
not
lungs.
be tired.
Not it is good to lungs. When they practice in the mountain
Sir, it
areas,
will increase the capacity of lungs, sir.
the lung capacity will be increased, because for the running they need to take good amount of oxygen, but in the mountains less oxygen is available. So
Yes, sir.
if their lung capacity is increased, with the less availability itself, they will have more oxygen, right? So with the increased
Yes,
lung
sir.
capacity, when they run on the plain areas, they can run faster without getting tired, right?
This is
Yes, someone is telling that I have got a doubt. Please ask your doubt now.
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the difference between acclimatation and mutation?
Acclimatization and come again?
Mutation.
Mutation. Acclimatization and you type a message.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the mountain area, there less oxygen or high oxygen, sir?
There will be less of oxygen.
Sir, then how the lung capacity will...
Yeah, very good point. When the oxygen is low, why lung capacity increases? In order to have access of the less available thing in sufficient quantity, what should be done? Your capacity should be increased. Right? Okay?
Yes, sir.
That is the reason.
We will breathe fastly so that
We have to breathe
our
faster. With the fast breathing itself, enough oxygen is not going to be available. If your lung capacity is increased, okay, then little more oxygen is made available to your lungs. Okay?
yes,
Yes. Right. Someone is asking the difference between acclimatization and some other word he used. What is that word?
he said that the mutation.
Mutation. Mutation is a genetic
sir.
term.
Yes, sir.
Mutation is the genetic term. Change in the genes or change in the DNA of the organism. Don't bring that word here, okay? Acclimatization is the temporary changes in the features and habits. That's it. Genetic changes do not take place in the acclimatization, right? Okay. Acclimatized traits do not get inherited. You are making me to teach to your higher level classes information now. Don't do that. Please, we have to be sticking to the 6th class science syllabus, not to the 10th class or 12th class. Right? Okay. Right. Abiotic factors like air, water, light and heat are very important for growth of all living organisms. Adaptations, they help the organisms to exist or to survive in their specific surroundings. Because of this, the organism that exist in very hot and cold surroundings are able to survive in their surroundings. Okay, so adaptations are everything in order to make the organism to live in any given area. Adaptations do not take place in a short period of time. They take place over a period of thousands of years in the organisms, generation by generation, right? Abiotic factors of a region keep changing over thousands of years. As with the changes in the abiotic factors, if organisms are not getting changes, then they cannot survive. So the organisms also should bring in the changes, right? And if they are not bringing the changes in their habits and features, then what will happen? If the surroundings are getting changed slowly, gradually over a period of thousands of years, if organisms are not getting changes according to the changes in the surroundings, then what will happen?
They can't live there, sir.
They can't live means
Sir,
what will
they
happen?
can't live. They can't survive.
They can't
Sir,
live
they
means
will
they will
die.
die, right? Okay.
Survive.
So different regions, they have different abiotic factors. For different abiotic factors, animals should have different adaptations. So as animals adapt to different abiotic factors in different ways, a variety of organisms are present in different habitats. See, different habitats or different surroundings, they have got different abiotic factors. According to the different abiotic factors, the animals that live in those different regions or different habitats, they must have different adaptations, right? So can you expect same type of organisms or same type of animals in all different regions?
No, sir.
So what can we expect? We can expect a variety of organisms in different habitats. We can expect a variety of organisms in different habitats, right? Now,
Yes.
how many types of habitats are there in total? Broad division of habitats.
Two
What are
types, sir.
they? Terrestrial and aquatic habitats. Okay. Now let us just go through some terrestrial habitats. So we have discussed about adaptations of one animal. What is that animal? We have discussed. Okay. So where do camel live in?
Camel and fish, sir.
Okay, where do camels generally live in? Deserts. Okay.
Sir, in deserts.
Right. Now, in desert, what are the general abiotic factors that are present?
Sir, less water.
Less rainfall, less water availability, more heat.
Water, hot climate, climate, sir.
In deserts, the conditions are during daytime very high temperature, during night time very cold temperatures, right? And less water availability, less rainfall will be there, and due to less water availability, can you expect good vegetation? That is, more number of plants. Will they be present in deserts? No. Generally, in deserts, very less number of that to some specific desert plants only they are going to be seen. And normal plants, which we can see like neem plant, mango plant, tamarind plant, all these plants, they cannot be seen in the deserts, right? So in deserts, there will be very high temperature in the daytime, very low temperature in the night time, and very less vegetation, less rainfall, and less available water will be there, right? Deserts are known for less rainfall,
Sir, video is off, sir.
less water.
Sir, your video is off, sir.
Video is off. Oh, so
Yes,
far.
sir, it's coming like
Yes, sir, it's
it's off. Sir, it's off.
Chiranjeevi, stop presenting.
Yes, sir.
Chiranjeevi, stop presenting.
Sir, okay.
Chiranjeevi, stop presenting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right.
Sir, board is not clear. Come, sir. Now. Sir, board is not clear, sir.
Wait. Board is clear only here. Why are you telling board is not clear? Huh? Board is very well clear. Right? So you can see less rainfall, less water, less vegetation in deserts, more temperature during day and less temperature during night. In these type of conditions, what type of adaptations can you see? And what type of animals can you see in the deserts? In the desert snakes and rats-like animals, they do not have long legs like camel. In the case of camels have long legs, so that the body can escape from the heat of the sand during the daytime. Whereas snakes and rats, they do not have long legs, so they cannot escape from the heat of the sand of the desert, right? So during the daytime, they will stay away from the heat of the sand by present in the burrows. So snakes and rats.
Sir, what is the third adaptation, sir?
Huh?
What
Snakes
is
and
the
rats,
third adaptation?
during the daytime, they can escape from the heat by being present in the burrows. Okay? Present in.
Sir, what is the meaning of vegetation, sir?
Vegetation means plant.
Vegetation means plants, right? Okay. And these animals, the rats and snakes which present in the burrows during the daytime, they come out only in the night time because they need to hunt their prey animals. They need to get their food, right? These animals come out only during the night because night time it will be cold. Desert plants, they will lose very little water through transpiration. Okay. Desert plants, they lose very less water by transpiration, right? And in the desert, the plants do not having the leaves, or even if they are having leaves, those leaves will be very small and pointed like spines. So desert plant leaves are either in spine shape or will be absent, right? Why they are in spine shape? If they are present in spine shape, then transpiration will not be taking place. If the leaves are absent also, transpiration is not taking place. If they are present in the spine shape also, the transpiration will not be taking place, so that they can protect themselves from the loss of water, right? So if the leaves are either absent or present in spine shape, then who can carry out photosynthesis? The stem will be carrying out photosynthesis. So in the desert plants, the stem will be modified to carry out photosynthesis. right? So in deserts, the snakes and rats-like animals which do not have long legs, what do? They hide themselves in the burrows during the daytime to escape from the heat, and they come in the night time to get their food, right? And plants, they do not have leaves, or even if they are having leaves also, they will be like spines. By not having leaves or by the spines shaped leaves, they can reduce the water loss, because these spines shaped leaves, they will not be carrying out much transpiration. And when the leaves are absent or when the leaves are like spines, who will carry out photosynthesis? Generally leaves are meant for photosynthesis. So if leaves are absent or if leaves are like spines, then photosynthesis cannot be carried out by those leaves. Then in order to carry out photosynthesis, stem is modified like a leaf to carry out photosynthesis. Example is cactus.